my name is Debbie Reynolds. They call me the Data Diva. Today I want to talk about digital widgets and data privacy. Digital widgets are third-party capabilities that people incorporate into apps and into websites that they are not a native part of the application or website. For example, let's say someone has a button on their website that says, join me on Twitter. That is a widget where the person is using a pre-made capability and they're enabling it on their website. Widgets are being used a lot. A lot of people who develop websites and put things in websites use tons of widgets to have certain capabilities that they don't have to program themselves that helps them connect in. Another type of widget that people see a lot is the one where it allows you to use your login. Let's say you had Google or you had Apple. Let's say, log in with Apple, log in with Google. That's another type of widget, so to speak. So widgets are very popular. Most websites have at least some widgets. And data privacy widgets are a concern because a lot of times people, when they're building websites or they're using these third-party widgets, they're not understanding that these widgets may be passively collecting information. For example, someone may say, well, we've checked our website, we think it's compliant with XYZ privacy law, but they may not know that a widget that they've incorporated in their application may actually be passively collecting more data than it should be collecting. There's a case that's been going on for a number of years. I think it started in 2011. This is actually a Facebook case, and this particular case was saying that the Facebook thumbs up button, like if you go to a website and it says, like me on Facebook or something, that's also a widget. But this particular case, although it's been going on for a long time and quite a lot of the claims that were made in the case were dismissed, there was recently some activity in this particular case about that particular widget, the thumbs up, which meant that a judge thought that maybe because of the way that the thumbs up worked on websites, that it may actually be applicable to the Wiretap Act, because they described the information about how that particular widget works or worked at one point, that even though you may have clicked a button and liked something, that particular widget was also collecting additional information that may have gotten transmitted back to Facebook that people weren't aware of. So that's just one example, but I think it's a really interesting one because up to this point, companies have not yet, or in terms of using the Wiretap Act for these types of things and widgets, it hasn't really been used in that way. A lot of times because a lot of widgets that we see today, they typically have some type of disclaimer, terms of service, or a privacy notice that you have to read. So in that way, they're covered in terms of what they do. But if you are incorporating widgets into your website and it's not clear to you as a person, whether you're a webmaster, a map maker, anyone doing any type of digital or analytics work on a website, it's very important that the widgets that you're using on your website, that you're sure what they're using. A lot of people use a lot of open source coded widgets, which is good to some extent, but we all know that open source code also may have a surveillance type code in it, so you have to be very careful. So this is a really interesting case. I think people are going to be watching it very closely, especially because, again, no one's been successful thus far in using the Wiretap Act to address these particular widgets and how they work on the internet. That's it. Thanks. Bye.